episode 2 or whatever of whatever this is. A lot of things. Number one, I bought roller skates. I don't know how to roller skate on those kind of roller skates, but I've always really wanted to. I really wanted to do. What is it called? Just the roller skate derby. Where you can take out all of your anger on something like that. But we're starting with roller skates. Pretty psyched about that. Pretty upset about the rest of life. I've been crying. It's not funny, actually. I did think of, I think, a better name for this whole situation. This whole, like, audio diary thing. Along the lines of, like, save our ship. I don't think anyone's gonna fucking save me. So, I guess it's more of a save your own ship situation. Save your own shit. Save your own soul. Save your own self. So, yeah. The situation this morning is I am really, really pissed with my ex. Don't even like calling them my ex. This is a person who basically tricked me and manipulated me and lied to get to me and my money and my body and made up very fundamental answers to fundamental questions, and none of it turned out to be true. That's the crisis that sent me to my relative's house. I think I've been here like 3 months. April, May, June, July, almost 4 months, I think. I saw something that they had done online, and it was them saying kind of just the things I've already told them about how monstrous they are for the lies they told and the way they manipulated and lied to me. I'm gonna itch my leg, and I'm sorry about it, but I can't be bothered to edit this, so I'm also sorry for my nose, but I've been crying. I saw that yesterday, and it kind of, it just seemed manipulative because they didn't post it on any of their like mainstream accounts. They haven't really expressed that. They don't seem to have internalized the fact that they really were a monster and like a sick person for doing this to somebody else. They just posted it on the one account that I still followed them on, which I didn't even realize I still followed them on it. I was gonna say I'll fix that, but I don't know whether I don't know how to unfollow an ex, but I don't want them to hear that and then think that I'll stay. Basically, it just seemed like they put it there for me to see it and to make it look like they felt bad, which they obviously don't. And I didn't think that affected me, except for I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then I couldn't stop thinking about like flashbacks to, I think it was like April 1st, which is the night that I found out all of this stuff and things got really, really bad in my personal life. And like emergency services came out, not for me, for them, but they tried to take me, and it's this whole thing, and I lost my job over it. I'm scared to say that much about it. For a second, I just thought about deleting that or editing it, but I don't know. And so basically, it's been really hard to deal with that, obviously. I didn't think seeing that social media post was that big of a deal, except for now that I'm thinking about it, I'm realizing how it like impacted me. I really shut down inside and turned into this like gelatinous oatmeal thing that I do sometimes, where I just like stop functioning. It's because like I guess because they freeze and I can't process it, and so I guess I just like U-turn and go stand like against a wall for a while mentally, where it's like I don't think about anything, I don't do anything or accomplish anything, I don't talk to other people, I just kind of like switch into, I don't know, existing mode. Because it's been the weekend and I feel like I did nothing with it, and I get upset about that, and I didn't make any progress on anything I could have been making progress on, but I also didn't talk to any friends. But also I guess that my brain just kind of stopped in this moment where I saw that online all this came up again, and then I texted them again, and now we've been fighting again. I don't know how to move away from things. I don't, even in a situation where somebody has so clearly wronged me and hurt me and like nearly ended my life, like, and I don't know why I still talk to them. I knew at the beginning I still talked to them because I was like, I didn't feel like I could lose everything all at once, and like the whole job thing was happening, and I guess I had already in a sense lost them, but so I didn't feel like I could lose the person that they really were, because who I thought they were had like gone away. So I guess I was just like scrambling to hold on to things. I don't know. But I feel really angry. Really, really angry. I have never felt it to this extent with anybody in my life before, where I am just pissed off at them. I hate them. I don't think I've ever wished like bad things for people, but I just am so upset. And I just can't, like, I can't stand the thought, because I see this on their social media where they're like at birthday parties or out with a dog or like interacting with family and friends on there. And I just can't stand the thought that like they're out there still enjoying pretty good parts of life when it feels like I'm like underneath their tires where they like ran me over again and again for months, years. I don't know how specific to be. I don't know if it's better to like confront actually all of the things that happened or how I felt about them, or if I should just keep ignoring it and staring at the wall until it passes. I get to this point where it's like I get so angry, so angry, so angry. And it feels like, okay, I have all of this anger. What do I do now? It's like, where do you want me to go? What do I do? I'm ready. Like, who do I hit? No one, nothing. It's like I can't run away from it. I can't undo it. I can't get through to them and make them realize like how awful they are for having done this. Basically, this is a person that, oh man, I don't want to tell this story. Basically, this is a person who I met online, and we talked for, it was 3 years before I found out the truth. And in that time, it had become a daily thing, and I thought we had moved offline and become like real life friends. And when I developed feelings for them and I told them and they said they had feelings for me, it wasn't dating, but it was like, that was who I wanted to date, I guess. And I thought for a long time it's gonna, COVID hit, and I thought, after this we're gonna be there and be together, and that it was just a matter of time before we finally like fought our way to the start button, that all of this stuff was happening, and like including COVID, that meant it so we couldn't travel or we'd have to quarantine, all these things. But I thought for sure I had found the person that I connected with in the world and who I was in love with, and we were best friends. And I'm pretty messed up in the head, so maybe it's my fault for having done it out of order and thinking that I could be in love with somebody like that before ever even meeting them. But I did think I was in love. I still think I was in love. I was ready for that life with that person to start. I had begged that person for it to start, and I was naive, I guess, and stupid and narrow-sighted, and gave them my faith and my trust. But also they like forced it out of me. And they took all the faith and trust that I could possibly like produce for a person. We talked about marriage. We talked about having kids. We talked about me moving there this January. And then I found out, without them telling me, I found out that they'd lied about everything. They lied. It wasn't him. It was a catfish. And I guess I just never saw it coming, because all the times you see it's a catfish is like, it seems like there's obvious reasons or like obvious clues that they overlook. And I'd seen photos, I'd seen videos, we talked every day, I'd spoken to their family. Like, I understand that when somebody wants to deceive you, they're going to deceive you. But I really thought, I mean, I don't want to say it never crossed my mind that it could have been fake, but it just went on for so long. And to me, it became so deep, and I was so in love with this person, and I thought this person was so in love with me. And then 3.5 months ago, I found out, not true, not a guy, not the right name, not the right country. I don't know why I still talk to this person. I guess I'm having a hard time moving on from the fact that like none of that was real. And I'm having a hard time adjusting, like the like when a train moves between tracks, right? It gets in like the little spinny thing. I had that, well, I didn't have it, but my sibling had that, like Thomas the Train set when we were kids. And there was that part where that circle where the train would sit in it, and then it would rotate and it would switch to a new track. I'm having a really hard time switching to the new track, because for the last 3 years of my life, I thought I was heading towards marriage and a life and motherhood with this person. And we had talked about what states to live in. We looked at houses and everything. And then to just completely flip around and be like, hey, that person doesn't exist. No one's marrying you. You're not having a family together. It's really hard. And I guess sometimes I forget how hard it is. Because there's sometimes where I guess I'm just not processing it well. Because you'd think that, like, even if it wasn't linear, you'd think it'd be a certain percentage, quote unquote, through it each day. But I'm not. There's days where I just don't think about it at all. I talk to other people. I try to move on with other relationships. I know I'm better off without that person who she turned out to be. But then there's times like this where I'm just so angry. I'm so angry. I am so angry that a human would do this to another person. I'm so angry that she knew exactly how I felt about things, about intimate things. She knew exactly what it took for me to open up to her. She knew how I felt about her. And that was the first time I ever felt like I wasn't playing any type of game or following any kind of script. It just felt like I was head over heels for this person, and they knew it, and it was okay to say it as many times as I wanted to. It really hurts. God, it really hurts. That she could know all that, and every day for the last 3 years she knew all that. And still we talked to each other like we were going to be together. And she used to say as him that once we're together, he's never leaving, and once we start, we're never going to stop, and it's going to be the rest of our lives together, and we just had to make it to that point. And that's what I've been working for and working towards. And it's really hard to have that like ripped away from me and be like, now what? So I have a whole lot of anger this morning after a whole lot of numbness. And I don't know what to do about it. I did text them a lot, very angry things. And I guess the big thing for me is like trying to give myself the space to just feel about it, because obviously I keep numbing about it. And I was so upset because she asked me today for another chance and to let her back into my life. And that pisses me off because it pisses me off, period. She assaulted and took advantage of me in a lot of ways. And I don't know how somebody can just turn around and say, hey, want to be friends? Because no, I don't want to be friends with an abuser. What happened to your social media post about, oh, I'm an abuser? Right? You were trying to confess, but then privately you text me because you're still manipulating me. You text me about how you want to be there for me and just take one more chance on you. What's the difference if my life's already destroyed if I take another chance? And there's a big ass difference. Thank you, ma'am. Because my whole life, I think I've given people a lot of chances at my own expense, and at a certain point I think I lost my ability to determine or think about like who really deserves my effort or my chance, and I kind of just show up for everybody I ever meet. Like how I would treat my best friend is how I would treat like a coworker. Like I would get them both a birthday gift, or like I would listen to them talk for hours and be emotionally supportive, and that's not like appropriate of me. And so either I lost the ability to tell like limits or put limits on myself, or I just never developed it. I never developed like healthy boundaries or appropriate boundaries. And so it's really hard for me. And I know that people like this girl take advantage of that probably and use it to her advantage, at least. That I don't know how to have a healthy boundary or stopping point with her. That probably the stopping point should have been when I found out the truth. I probably should have told her to get out of my life and been pretty hard and fast about it. She probably takes advantage of the fact that I had a lot of real feelings for the last 3 years. And so I think she continues to try to manipulate and try to get her hooks back into me by being like, just let me back in, and telling me she's still in love with me. Probably we're really dragging this out. I think I'm definitely scared of never talking to this person again. And it's a weird dichotomy because I don't like her and I definitely don't love her. And I don't want to be her friend. And it's hard to explain, but it's like this guy that I was in love with, he hadn't betrayed me or taken advantage of me. And I find out that he was more of a character. And this person playing him, went to all these lengths to betray me. And she knew she was hurting me, and she knew she was setting me up to be devastated and to ruin my life and to take away like life plans from somebody. And it's just weird because they sound like the same person. And it's weird because I really genuinely thought that for the rest of my life, that's my person. That's who I'll go home to. That I thought that's who I'm going to marry in a church. I thought that was going to be father to my kids. Everything. That was my best friend, was that man. But now it's not. And that's really hard to let go of. It's really hard when this is the person that I thought was for life, and it's so strange. It's so strange to be like, I'm never going to speak to them again. And it's so strange to think that maybe someday I'll marry somebody else, and somebody else will be the father to my kids, and that our kids aren't going to look like him and me. Or it's weird to think that I'm not going to have his last name, because I'd even gotten used to that. Like, God, I suck. I'm a mess. I'm a mess, and I wish I had done this at the beginning of my weekend instead of the end of it. Because now I just like spent the whole weekend with my head under the sand trying not to think about anything. But I am upset, and I am hurt, and I am angry. And I don't want to give her a chance, and I don't love her, and I don't like her. And I really need to honor that for myself and honor myself this time around, because holy moly, she fucking destroyed me. And I think I'm the only one who can stop it from happening again or from happening more. I'm the only one, because she's clearly not going to stop. And I guess that goes back to what I said at the beginning, that no one is going to save your ship. No one's going to save your soul. I don't know how to freaking save my own stuff, but I know it's not coming from her. I also know it's not coming from like my casual like people that I text and I project issues and kind of have like a damsel thing, I think, where I want people to help me or to save me or to make it feel less worse, or to at least notice like how bad I'm doing. But God, the most, okay, first of all, it's not going to be anybody else. It's not even going to be this ex. This ex is clearly, after like 3 or 4 months, like fighting like this every once in a while, I'll just go in and start like yelling at him. And they don't get it. They're not going to get it. They don't get how much it hurt. They don't get how wrong it is for them to come in asking for another chance. If they understood, it's not like they can't mentally comprehend it, but if they understood what they had done to me sympathetically, I don't think they ever would have done it. They have no sympathy for what they've put me through, what they've done to me. I can't imagine causing that kind of pain or destruction, or like setting somebody up like that every single day for 3 years, man. We'd even developed like friends in common. We all knew different truths. We just all never compared because we never thought. My trust issues have skyrocketed. It's great. I know it's not going to come from anybody else. So far, it's not coming from me. So far, I can't do anything to help myself or make myself feel better or get myself through it. I did order roller skates. But maybe the best for today is knowing that I'm not going to get any relief, any protection from anybody else. Nobody else is going to make this better. And that it's a really bad situation. And I'm really angry. I'm really hurt. And I feel really humiliated and taken advantage of and just gross. And I'm sad. And I'm grieving. And I'm jealous. And I have a whole lot of feelings. God, I'm sick of feelings. Ugh. I know nothing. All I know is I need some kind of saving, and it's not coming from, and it's not gonna come from anywhere else in the world. I also know I don't know how to save myself. But I wish I'd stop looking for it from other people.